Hi, I'm Ernie Medina with TRB, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about a technique that people can use for addressing the magazine release in their various firearms. What I've noticed about most shooters, right-handed shooters, is that accessing that magazine release upon a reload is a little tough. So I've seen some pretty gnarly things. I've seen some folks shake the firearm. I've seen some folks use their support hand to access that mag release and then do their reload. But let's talk a little bit today about how we can alter our technique just a little bit to really pay us dividends on that reload. So before I get into anything, I'm just going to go ahead and show clear, firearm on my hip, and the fact that I have dummy rounds in my magazine. So just want to show clear here that this firearm is checked. There's nothing in the chamber, and there is no magazine inserted at this point in time. In my magazines, I have one dummy round in here and this one, as well as two dummy rounds in here. So no live ammo for this demonstration, and they've been checked. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to simulate having to do a reload. All right, so when I'm doing a reload, if I'm on the range here, okay, and I have that reload, I'm going to show from the right-hand perspective, as most folks are right-handed, and that magazine release is right here. So I have slide lock. I'm forced to do a reload right now, and what I see is that folks have a hard time leveraging their thumb or getting access to that magazine release. Now, depending on the firearm, like the SIG, easy day. Some folks really have this problem with the Glocks and some other firearms that have different positioning on the magazine release. So what I like to do is take my support hand, and with my index finger, even while I'm shooting, I like to really get a hook into the side of the trigger guard right there. Okay? That also helps when I'm putting opposing pressure with my thumb to stabilize, and I can really squeeze my hands together with a nice firm grip and not pull left or right or whatever. So I can use that for shooting as well. But here, when I'm doing my reload procedure, before I drop this hand to access my new mag, okay, I can actually pull the gun offline with that index finger engaged in that part of the trigger guard, pushing that firearm into my thumb. And I'm not really pushing with my thumb, I'm really pulling back with my index finger, and the magazine just drops. Okay? From there, I can go ahead and access my new mag, okay? Bring it up, and then either whether you rack the slide or use a slide stop release, what have you, back into the fight. I don't have to pull the firearm offline when I'm doing this. So again, to simulate, I don't have to pull the firearm offline so much to do this. It really is a slight shift when I'm hooking that index finger. Slight shift, magazine comes right out, and then again, do my loading process. So if you're right-handed and you're having trouble, depending on which firearm you have, with doing that magazine release, try that method, and if it works for you, great. As left-handed shooters, of course, I'm a left-handed shooter. When doing the reload, I like to access the magazine release with my middle finger. Okay, so my trigger finger has one job, and that is to squeeze the trigger. So here, as I'm doing my reload, I'm simply just going to hit that magazine release. I have opposing pressure with my thumb already. It's easy day all the way. Okay, so as most firearms are designed with the magazine released for the right hand, you can easily use your middle finger with your left hand on that side. Now, some firearms, like the Springfield XD and others, have an ambidextrous magazine release. So you can do the same method as I just talked about for right-handed folks with your left hand that way, or you can just go to a standard of using your middle finger. Over the years of shooting and having firearms primarily having a right-handed version of the magazine release, I like to have one method that's well practiced so I'm not confusing myself depending on which firearm I have. So those are just a couple ways that you can access the magazine release, whether you're left-handed, right-handed, and I hope that makes you a faster and better shooter as it relates to reloading. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, like and subscribe with the buttons below, and hit that bell to be alerted for future videos.